Hello and welcome to our channel. We're so happy to have you with us today. In this episode, we'll tell the inspiring true story of a world-famous football player, Cristiano Ronaldo. Maybe you know his name, but do you know how his journey began? He started with very little, no fame, no money, just a dream and a football. This is a story about hard work, courage, and never giving up. So get comfortable and let's begin. Cristiano Ronaldo, from a poor boy to a world legend. Chapter 1. The Island Boy. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on February 5, 1985, on the island of Madeira, Portugal. His family lived in a small neighborhood called Santo Antonio in the city of Funchal. The house was simple, with very little space, and sometimes they struggled to afford basic things. His mother, Maria Dolores, worked as a cook and cleaner. His father, José Diniz Aveiro, was a gardener and also worked part-time at a local football club. Cristiano was the youngest of 4 children. Life was not easy, but there was love in the family. Even as a little boy, Ronaldo was full of energy. He loved running, jumping, and especially kicking a ball. He would play football anywhere, on the street, in the garden, even inside the house. Sometimes he got in trouble for breaking things, but he couldn't stop. Football was his life. As he grew older, people began to notice something special about him. He was faster than other boys, more focused, and always wanted to win. At age 7, he joined a small local football club called Andorinha, where his father helped clean the team's uniforms. Even then, people said, "This boy is different." Chapter 2. Leaving home for the first time. By the age of 10, Cristiano had already outgrown the small football clubs in Madeira. Coaches from bigger teams in mainland Portugal started to hear about the boy with amazing footwork and incredible speed. When he was 12 years old, he was invited to join the youth academy of Sporting CP, one of the biggest clubs in the country, based in Lisbon. This was a huge opportunity, but it meant something very painful for a young boy. He had to leave home, leave his family, and live alone in a big city. At just 12 years old, Cristiano flew on a plane for the first time and moved to Lisbon. At the academy, life was tough. The training was hard, and the boys were competitive. Ronaldo missed home terribly. He cried almost every night, thinking of his mother and his siblings. The other boys laughed at his Madeiran accent and sometimes bullied him, but he didn't give up. He focused on football, trained harder than anyone else, and stayed determined. Slowly, he proved himself. The coaches noticed his speed, his powerful shots, and his hunger to improve. He wasn't the strongest or the tallest, but he had something that couldn't be taught: pure passion and incredible discipline. Chapter 3. A life-changing match. By the age of 16, Ronaldo was training with Sporting CP's first team. He became the youngest player in the club's history to play for the main team, and he impressed everyone with his performance. Then, in the summer of 2003, Sporting CP hosted Manchester United in a friendly match. Ronaldo played brilliantly. He dribbled past defenders, created chances, and excited the fans with his speed and skill. The Manchester United players were shocked by his talent. After the match, several of them told their manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, that they had never seen a player like him. Just a few days later, Manchester United signed Ronaldo for more than £12 million. He was only 18 years old. Suddenly, Cristiano was moving to England, another country, another culture, another challenge. Chapter 4. A New Life in Manchester. Moving to Manchester was not easy. Ronaldo didn't speak English, and he missed his home once again. The food was different, the weather was cold, and the training was harder. But Sir Alex Ferguson, the manager, believed in him. He gave him the famous number 7 shirt, the same number worn by legends like George Best and David Beckham. At first, some people thought Ronaldo was just about fancy moves and showmanship. He loved stepovers and flashy tricks. But Ronaldo knew he had to grow. He stayed after training to practice free kicks, shooting, and fitness. He worked on his body, improved his passing, and studied how to help the team. In 2008, Ronaldo helped Manchester United win both the English Premier League and the UEFA Champions League. That year, he scored 42 goals and won the Ballon d'Or for the first time. He had gone from a skinny boy from Madeira to the best player in the world. But he wasn't finished yet. Chapter 5. The Real Madrid Era. In 2009, Ronaldo made history again when he joined Real Madrid for €94 million, the most expensive transfer in football history at the time. The pressure was huge. The Spanish media followed his every move. Fans expected miracles, and Ronaldo delivered. He scored goals in almost every match. He broke records year after year. He became Real Madrid's all-time top scorer with more than 450 goals in just 9 seasons. His rivalry with Lionel Messi, who played for Barcelona, became the most famous rivalry in football. Every week, people compared their goals, performances, and titles. Ronaldo's desire to win never stopped. He trained like a machine, ate only the healthiest food, and slept with a strict routine. His focus was unmatched. During his time at Real Madrid, Ronaldo won 4 Champions League titles and 4 more Ballon d'Or awards. He became a global icon, loved by millions around the world. Chapter 6. A Hero for Portugal. While Ronaldo had won many trophies with clubs, he had not yet won anything major with his national team. That changed in 2016. Portugal reached the final of the UEFA Euro 2016 tournament. Ronaldo was their captain, their leader. But in the final against France, he was injured in the first half. He left the pitch in tears. Many thought Portugal had no chance without him. But Ronaldo didn't give up. Even from the sidelines, he stood and shouted instructions. He encouraged the players like a coach. He never stopped believing. In the end, Portugal scored a goal in extra time and won the tournament. Ronaldo cried again, but this time, tears of joy. It was the first major title in Portugal's history, and it meant everything to him. Chapter 7. Life Beyond the Pitch. Cristiano Ronaldo is not just a footballer. He is also a father, a son, a partner, and a businessman. He has 4 children, and he often shares moments with them on social media. He says that being a father is one of the greatest joys in his life. He owns hotels, a clothing line, gyms, and even a museum in Madeira that shows his trophies and achievements. Despite being one of the richest athletes in the world, he gives back to the community. He has donated millions to hospitals, cancer research, children's charities, and more. Ronaldo also uses his fame to support causes he believes in. He speaks about hard work, discipline, and staying focused. He always reminds young people that success doesn't come easy. It takes years of effort, sacrifice, and belief. Chapter 8. What we can learn from Ronaldo. Ronaldo's journey is not just about football. It's about never giving up. It's about rising from poverty, overcoming fear, and proving the world wrong. His story teaches us that talent is important, but it is not enough. You must also work harder than anyone else. He teaches us to be brave, to believe in our dreams, and to support others. He shows us that you can start from the bottom and still reach the top if you are willing to fight for it. Cristiano Ronaldo will one day retire from football, but his story will continue to inspire millions around the world, boys and girls, athletes and dreamers, everyone who dares to dream big. Thanks for watching. Take action today, not tomorrow. Press subscribe and let's keep learning together. You're doing great. See you in the next one. Stay strong.